Why millions of adults are ghosting their mother on this Mother's Day? There is no relationship on earth more foundational than the one between a mother and her child. It's our first experience in the world, our first definition of safety, our first taste of love around the globe. Mother's Day is a celebration of that bond. Last year, I posted a video titled Honor of Mother and Social Media. I received many calls and messages from people, those who viewed it. बहुत सारे messages को पढ़ने और सुनने के बाद I decided to make a new video on it for this Mother's Day. The fact is, millions of adults are ghosting their mothers. They are not calling them on Mother's Day. The question is, why? Why is that distance? Why is that guilt of any kind? Why are the unanswered calls? क्यों ये रिश्ता इस मोड़ पर आ पहुंचा है कि अडल्ट होने के बाद आप या तो माँ को कॉल नहीं कर रहे हैं तो अनआंसर्ड हैं. सो ये जो रिश्ता है, ये जो मुद्दा है, ये और भी ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाता है जब हम इंडियन कल्चर की बात करें. इन इंडियन कल्चर, no relationship is more sacred than the one between the mother and the child. Ma is just not a word. It's practically a religion. So why are thousands of Indian adults quietly, guiltily, are choosing the distance from their mother? And more importantly, is distance always end of the story? क्या ये सच में रिश्ता कभी खत्म हो जाता है या प्यार खत्म हो जाता है? But the psychology says something about it that nobody is talking about. And it's not what you think. The story we grew up with is, if you grew up in an Indian household, you know the script. माँ ने कितना sacrifice किया, mother gave away her life, her identity, her sleep to build our lives, which to a certain extent is true. Certain extent, it's actually, I should say, for the most part is true. The sacrifice was real. The love was real. But somehow, somewhere along the way, the debt became too heavy. The silence became the only way of fresh breath. हमारे कल्चर के हिसाब से माँ की जो जिम्मेदारी माँ ने निभाई, वो एक ऐसा ऑब्लिगेशन बन जाता है जो एक समय के बाद शायद बर्दाश्त के बाहर भी होना शुरू हो जाता है. Globally, over 27% adults report being estranged from their family members. In South Asian communities, that number is almost certainly undercounted, because in our culture, distance doesn't mean distance from your mother. It means distance from the entire world. Carl Jung, famous Swiss psychologist, called this enmeshment, where a parent and child's identity are so fused that the child cannot develop a separate identity, their own self-confidence, and all other relationships are threatened. In Indian homes, this is compounded by money. We are raised to view financial support, education, weddings, other household supports that we get from the families as part of love. That creates a psychological debt that child feels that he has to repay. Repay with gift, obedience, proximity. When you can't, you don't stop loving them. You just get overwhelmed. And you know what? The tipping point is when marriage comes in between. जब शादी हो जाती है. For many, the breaking point comes when the spouse enters in the whole gamut of scenarios. चाहे वो बहू है या जवाई, बेटे की शादी हो, बेटी की शादी हो. When you marry a fragile enmeshment, the fused identity between the mother and a child is suddenly threatened. माँ को अपनी आइडेंटिटी से खतरा होने लग जाता है. The mother often perceives the spouse as a rival for its affection. She feels बेटे का प्यार उसके लिए कम हो गया क्योंकि अब उसकी जिंदगी में एक नया इंसान ऐसा आ गया जिसको वो प्यार करना चाहता है. And you are caught in a triangle. You are forced to choose between your primary duty to your mother and your new life with your partner. This often forces the child to establish boundaries, which the mother may interpret as abandonment, leading to a cycle of guilt, resentment, and ultimately the withdrawal. The unspoken message becomes, if you become who you truly are, you will hurt me. अगर तुम वो बन गए जो तुम सच में हो, तुम माँ को भूल जाओगे, तुम अपनी दुनिया में मशगूल हो जाओगे, बिजी हो जाओगे, और मेरे किए हुए एहसान जो मैंने सारी जिंदगी गवा कर तुम्हें बड़ा किया, वो खत्म कर दोगे. In Indian families, this is a very big thing. The narration comes after everything what I did for you, this is what I get in return. Or the most powerful one, the silent treatment. The quiet withdrawal of the warmth as a way of saying, you disappointed me. Interesting facts. Harvard trauma researcher Judith Herman found that the most confusing relationships are the one where love and pain comes from the same source. The heart doesn't know how to hold on to both. So it creates a distance. Not out of hatred, but out of confusion. जब दिल को यह समझ नहीं आता कि वो किसे प्यार करे, किसे छोड़े, क्योंकि दिमाग दोनों से प्यार करता है, सिचुएशन ऐसी बन जाती है जो डिमांड करती है कि एक को इग्नोर करो और दूसरे को ज्यादा प्यार करो। दिलो दिमाग काम करना बंद कर देते हैं। एंड दैट्स वेयर द कंफ्यूजन कम्स इन, दैट्स वेयर द साइलेंस कम्स इन। And here is the part that nobody says out loud, that confusion is not a sign that love is gone. It's a sign that love is still there. It's just tangled. प्यार अभी भी है, लेकिन थोड़ा उलझ गया है, और उसे सुलझाने की कोशिश करना इतना आसान नहीं है। A child grows up feeling like love must be earned back through obedience, through proximity, through performance, and they can't enjoy the gift because they are too busy trying to repay. By gift, I mean the gift of life. एक नई जिंदगी जो उसको मिली है अपने पार्टनर के साथ जीने के लिए। Psychology calls that coercive enmeshment. Through the resource dependency, our culture just calls it, this is what we do as families. Our love is based and entangled with हमने क्या किया, हमने ये किया, बच्चों को पढ़ाया, हमने घर में रखा, ये किया. This is all part of coercive enmeshment. But the beautiful truth is, it doesn't have to be this way. ये ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए. When we name it, we can change it on both sides. Irony is कि हम इसको समझते ही नहीं हैं. नाम देना तो बहुत दूर की बात है. And you know what the flip side is? The real meaning of distance. Here is what I feel you should be holding on to. The distance is not hatred. दूर रहना नफरत नहीं है. Carl Jung believed in individualization, the process of becoming whole, a whole new separate person. जब हम बड़े होते हैं, एक उम्र के बाद हम एक मुख्तलिफ इंसान बन जाते हैं. हमारी एक अलग आइडेंटिटी होती है, जिसको पहचानना कोई गलत बात नहीं है. The adult child who steps back is not ungrateful. They are searching for a version of love that is honest and chosen, rather than performed under pressure. हर इंसान प्यार करना चाहता है, निभाना नहीं. And sometimes that distance becomes the very space in which something real, something gets healed, and it can grow back. So this Mother's Day, whether you called your mother or you didn't, whether you are somewhere in the middle, I want to leave you with this one thing. The pain you feel, the guilt, the hesitation, the unanswered calls, it's not indifference. It is love. You are confused in many ways. Your love is tangled. बहुत उलझा हुआ प्यार है, लेकिन ये टूटा नहीं है. It's not broken. Whether you call today or not, remember the fact that when it hurts, it means connection is still there. प्यार अभी भी है. सिर्फ उसको पहचानने और अपनी सही जगह पकड़ने की जरूरत है. फिर मिलेंगे एक नए मुद्दे के साथ.